Hey, we are just super excited to join today and tell you a little bit about Sunday SoulDay, why we even started this podcast, and tell you about some of the exciting guests that we have lined up. So I'd love to just start with a quote. Sunday is the perfect day to hit the reset button and recharge your mind, body, and soul. It's the ultimate preparation for the week ahead, where you can start fresh on Monday with renewed energy and focus. That's a quote that I posted on social media, and it felt very relevant to the reasons why we started Sunday SoulDay. I'm Damesha Craig. If you don't know me, I'm a mindset coach, the CPO of the Craig Network, an author. I wrote my first ebook, a content creator, an entrepreneur of a couple businesses, and mom of two incredible kiddos, Huntley and Harlan. And this is my beautiful co-host, Allie. Allie, I'd love for you to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Allie Johnstone, licensed marriage and family therapist, or LMFT. I have a wonderful husband, a 4-year-old daughter, and 3 stepkids, and I'm excited to be here.
Amazing. Amazing. I can't wait to tell you a little bit about how Allie and I met. We became fast friends. We met just not even a year ago, but it really does feel like I've known her a lifetime. So, Allie, I would love for you to just tell our viewers just how we met, because it really does feel special.
Yeah, so and we'll go into it a little bit more later, but I met Damesha when I was in what I would call kind of a breakdown to breakthrough phase in my life. I was kind of in the breakthrough part, or starting, and we were at a pottery painting place with our kids, and Damesha was wearing this hat that said, "Be a good human." And so I went up to her and told her I liked her hat, and she just had such incredible energy. We ran into each other a couple more times that day, and I don't know, I just had this feeling we were supposed to know each other. And then during some prayer and meditation, I just heard from my higher power, who I call God, that Damesha and I were supposed to do something together. And I didn't know what it was. And I realized she lived somewhere else, like in a different state. And I was like, we're still going to do something. We're going to do something. And here we are. So
Amazing. Yeah. And Allie and I started following each other on social media. And I was telling her that I'm in this creative space. And she said, I'm feeling it too. And, let's just talk and figure out what we can do together. And we ended up talking about so many things and seeing how much we shared in common with our journeys, and also like where we currently were, kind of on our healing journeys. And it just felt like, God kind of brought us together. So we were very grateful for that. I'd love to tell you just a little bit about Sunday SoulDay. This is really an opportunity for us to explore the art of fueling our souls and preparing for the week ahead. We will interview different guests from all walks of life to see the ways that they're kind of nourishing their mind, body, and spirit and soul, and really living their best life. We will focus on the power of Sundays and how we can use this day to prepare for the week ahead. As a life coach, and I'm sure Allie as a therapist, we often hear our clients talk about how they struggle with finding balance and staying motivated throughout the week. And really just that opening to Monday, people kind of feel the Sunday blues and the Monday manic, or manic Monday is what Allie likes to call it. That's why I'm just excited to share some of the practical tips and strategies for fueling your soul on Sunday. We're going to do this through ourselves and chatting with us, and also in interviewing guests. We really want everyone to be able to start the week refreshed, energized, and feel empowered. And we know as coaches and therapists that a lot of times that self-care and reflection are essential to maintaining harmony in your life. And it really allows you to fuel your soul. So Sundays are the perfect way, just the perfect day, excuse me, to get centered and take a deep breath and to nourish your mind, body, and soul. So whether it's through meditation, journaling, spending time in nature, which I love to do, and I know Allie loves to do with her family, or just simply enjoying a cup of tea and just practice mindfulness. Sunday Soul Day is about taking the time to connect with yourself, setting your intentions for the week ahead. And we just want you to join us as, we go on this journey and kind of dive into so many different ways to fuel your soul on Sunday. So I'd love to pause there and just talk about some ways that we even fuel our soul. So, for me, like this has been such an interesting journey because I remember as a child on Sundays, my family didn't let us do anything. We had to stay in the home. We couldn't schedule like any play dates, kind of hang out. My father is a former football player. And so on Sundays, we used to watch him play professional football and, celebrate him. But when he retired, we were supposed to stay in the house and they called it family day. And when I look back, of course, as a child, you're like, this sucks. I want to go out with my friends and hang out. But when I look back on it, it was really kind of my parents' way of slowing things down because they had 5 children and I have 2, so I can imagine. But our house was chaotic, like everyone played sports. We were constantly on the go. And so it was really an opportunity to slow down. And even if we didn't spend time together, which most days we didn't, we just kind of were doing our own things. For me, I really developed a love for reading. My parents used to call me the hermit of the family because I used to spend time in my room and I would journal and I would just read anything I could get my hands on. I really love Judy Blume, but I see how that kind of those guiding principles early on kind of carried me through my adulthood because I use Sunday to not do any work, not do, really like cherish my Sunday. And I use it for a day to spend with God, whether I was in nature, to kind of fuel my soul through, all of my different practices, which we'll go into later. But some of those, include just journaling, waking up, practicing breath work, which I love to do. I always start the day with 3 things that I'm grateful for. Sometimes it's 5, but I at least try and think of 3 things that I'm grateful for. And I also include that when I go to bed. So I like to go to bed with a grateful heart and I like to wake up grateful. And it really has changed my life. Like just life is not easy for any of us. And we're always dealing with different things, but really leaning into gratitude. And it could be something as simple as I am grateful for the beautiful roses outside of my front yard, I'm just grateful for breathing. I'm grateful for waking up. But I've incorporated that into my days really every day, but for sure on Sunday. And that has really helped me so much. And in addition to that, like I like to keep it fresh on Sunday. So my kids and I will go on different hikes. I live in Arizona. I probably should have mentioned that to begin with. Allie's out in beautiful California, but I love to go out in nature and, take my kids on different experiences. We'll go hiking. Arizona has some of the best places to hike, but I like to spend time doing different things because that's what fuels my soul. Like I really thrive off of change and newness, but I also like routine too. So there's just those kind of staples that I do to help fuel my soul, which is around breath work, journaling, and practicing mindfulness. And I always carve out meditation daily. I have to do it. Otherwise I feel myself getting, anxious and overly excited about things. And I love to stay centered because it allows me to really focus and, just get all the things that I'm trying to do done. And also being a single mother, like it's so wonderful just to feel centered and really feel like I'm in my body. As I'm, striving to accomplish all the things that I'm trying to accomplish and impact the world the way that I want to. So I'd love to hear kind of what you do. You have such a beautiful routine. When I talked to you, I was like, I want to incorporate those, so I'd love to hear more about that.
Yeah, but do you mind if I do a quick shout out for Father?
Yes, please.
So I wanted to say happy Father's Day to my dad, Rod, my
Oh,
amazing husband, Ben, my brother-in-law, Uncle Phil, who just had twins, a boy and a girl, and he has a now 2-year-old son. And I want to also just say happy Father's Day to all the dads,
yes.
stepdads, grandpas, uncles, and father figures in all of your lives out there.
Amazing. Yeah, I was gonna do it at the end, but that is amazing. Since you did it, I'm gonna shout out my dad and also the father of my children who gave me two beautiful blessings. I'm so grateful that he was the vessel for them getting here. I will forever be grateful for them because they are amazing and they've changed my life tremendously. I want to shout out my brother who has two beautiful children who I'm obsessed with, my niece and nephew, and also the father of my other niece, my sister's former boyfriend, for creating my amazing niece Nyla, along with my sister's future husband. They're actually going to get married in August, so I want to shout him out as well because he has children. So, and also to all the fathers, just you guys are amazing. You don't hear it enough. I know moms get a lot of credit, but fathers are needed and you guys are loved. So thank you.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah, talk about how you feel your soul. I'm like so excited.
yeah, so just to kind of give a quick background and then I'll go
Yeah.
into how I feel my soul. So I've struggled with anxiety for as long as I can remember, and I was diagnosed with ADHD in fourth grade. So I was a hyperactive child, and I have to really put intention into my mind, body, and my soul, and be so that I can be centered because my system wants to be on the go and wants to be in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so how I take care of myself today. I had just to get to where I am today, I kind of had a breakdown about a year and a half ago towards the end of the pandemic, and we'd gone through some losses in the family. And I really was not pouring into my soul. And I was able to recognize that that's what I needed to do. So to take care of my body, I reached out to a friend of mine for some help. Shout out to Carrie. And she really helped me to get back in shape physically. And so I, so for spiritually, I got back into my spiritual program, and I will talk about that at another time. And I do prayer and meditation. I dance. I'm in an adult dance class, a hip hop class. I'm going to be starting a ballet class soon.
You had
And
your first performance,
my
right? Last
first
week,
performance last
which was
week.
awesome. She sent me a video. She was great. She did great.
And then for my mind, I started going to my own therapy, and just to meet my mental health needs. And yes, therapists do go to therapy, just like a doctor would go to a doctor. And
Or a coach will go to a
yeah,
coach. I have several coaches, so
and
absolutely.
as Damesha, you had mentioned, the whole gratitude list and
Yeah.
affirmations. I live by that.
Yeah.
We have kind of a monkey mind or an inner critic. It keeps us safe, but not sane. And so I have to intentionally go in and do affirmations and gratitude. I don't have to, I get to go in and do affirmations and gratitude. So the affirmations are kind of what I like about myself, or I talk to myself about my strength. And then I speak about all the things I'm grateful for. And as you mentioned, I try to do really small things
Yeah.
at first, like grateful for my sheets, grateful for running water, grateful. And then I go into grateful for family, grateful for my health, all of those things. And by the end, I'm like, I have so much to be grateful for that I normally would take for granted if I wasn't present.
Can I
Um,
pause you there? Because that is so great that you said that. Like, and I think a lot of times when you're in a space where, you're feeling anxious or, things are not going right, and maybe just there's one, trial after the next, it's so easy to slip into that mode where you're not feeling grateful, and you forget all of the amazing things that you have around you that are just like, I mean, I think about something so simple as just having clean water, like we have to be grateful for that. Like that is amazing, and even the air. I don't know if you remember, and what you probably do in the Bay Area, where the air quality was just awful. This was when I was living there before I moved to Arizona. The air quality was awful, and I remember when it cleared up, how grateful I was just for clean air. So those reminders are just so important. And I love that you incorporate that daily, which I know that you do, along with your affirmations. Yeah. What are some other things that you do?
And then so I do prayer and meditation.
Yeah.
And the way I look at it is, with prayer, I am speaking to my higher power, and with meditation, I'm listening. And just let my mind go blank, and whatever comes to me, I feel is kind of what I need to know, or what I need to do, or what I get to do. And that's part of how you and I connected, was through my meditation. And I around 2 o'clock each day, I notice my energy dipping, and I'll just lay down, or I'll do some deep breathing, or I'll just pause. One of the things that I try to do to reduce stress and to be present is, I will do deep breathing exercises, even if it's just for a minute. So if I'm filling my water up, I'll be loosening my shoulders and taking some deep breaths. When I'm in the car at a stoplight, I'll take some deep breaths. When I'm paying for something, and inserting my card, and it takes a minute, I'll do some deep breathing. I remember a friend telling me that in a spiritual group, that even at the store, when they're just putting in their credit card, there's that time for it to process, and to just, instead of getting anxious and frantic and wanting to get out of there, like my system normally would, I pause and I deep breathe, and I recognize any stress or tension. And when I wake up in the morning, I scan my body, and I just notice any areas of tightness or discomfort, and I focus on those areas without judgment, and meet myself where I'm at, and I allow myself to breathe through those areas, just so that I can be present and centered, and notice kind of what I need. I stretch, I exercise each day. And then at night, I do a daily checklist, and that's where I look at the different areas, my mind, my body, and my soul, and see what I did to take care of myself that day. And if there's an area maybe I missed, or I didn't do as much of, I just note it and do better the next day. It's, as I mentioned when we talked before, it's all about progress, not perfection.
Yeah. And it's so great to meet yourself where you are. Some of the things that I do to kind of release is, I will actually journal things that I literally want to release for the day, because sometimes you just don't get it right. Like, I'm a single mom. I give myself so much grace, because, it's not easy, like I'm working, for myself now. I'm building businesses from essentially scratch, and and also raising two amazing children who are 7 and almost 6. They're 16 months apart, so I'm extremely busy, and there's some things I just can't get to, and I have to give myself grace. And at the end of the night, like, I just release it. And it feels so good, because I don't carry it. Like, I have a very, and this about me, but I have a very kind of childlike spirit. And, but yet I'm also like calm, and so I, I don't like to carry any negativity. Like, if people are being negative around me, like, I will remove myself. If you call me with like that energy on the phone, like, I will, ask to get off. And so, and I think it's so important, because as we look at, Sundays, right, going into the week, like, we're carrying all of that, like, from the weekend, from the previous week. And if you don't have a space to release and to fuel your soul and to fill yourself back up, It
Can I
just,
just interrupt you really
yeah,
quickly? Because
please.
I just want to share with you how much you've been an inspiration to me
Oh,
in that area. I have had a tendency
don't make
to,
me cry.
no, I've had a tendency in the past to just be such a perfectionist and I struggled with anger and uh, kind of just needing things to go a certain way. And I just feel like your calm, available energy, non-judgmental, available, solution-oriented energy has been such a good reminder and impact on me. I was already headed in that direction, and you are goals for how I want to show up each day. And I think I am I have a history of being addicted to the drama drug, not being the one in the drama, but needing to know about the drama. And in some cases, yes, being in the drama. And I just so appreciate your calmness. And that's what I want. And if I'm not careful, I can live my life in fear. And the opposite of fear is love.
Yep.
And love is so much stronger than fear. And to actually let go of control and manipulation and to be present and to be open and to be vulnerable is something I don't know I've ever been able to do until now. And you and a couple of other women in my life are that inspiration for where I'm at today, and to care less about what other people think
Yeah.
and just do what works for me, what
Yeah.
serves me, and
No,
serves my,
absolutely.
my higher power.
Yeah.
And it ends up making me so much more fueled up to serve the people in my life. Is people talk about, oh, I'm selfish if I pause and take care of me. And the difference, selfish harms others. Self-care is where we get to charge our battery, uh, and lean in, take care of us, take care of ourselves so that what we have radiates out. So self-care is the most selfless thing that we can do.
Absolutely.
And
And
thank
it's
you for
really about
being,
being self-full,
yeah,
and
yeah,
fueling yourself back up, because we can't pour from empty glasses. Like as, a mom and, a coach and all the things that I'm, doing in my life, it
yeah,
is so important for me to take care of myself first, or I can't serve. Like
yeah.
I'm doing not only my community a disservice, but also myself. Like I need to be able to serve. So I have gotten, some people may call it selfish, but I just say it's self-full, because I want to fill myself up before I can, really deliver to anyone else. And it took me a while to get here, like it's so easy for us as natural caretakers. I'm the oldest in my family dynamic, so being the oldest, it's like you naturally take care of everyone else around you before yourself. And I had to switch that. I call it, putting tools on the tool belt. Like I had to learn new tools in order to deliver this, but then also too, like insert a new record, like I was listening to the same music over and over and over, and it wasn't serving me. It wasn't allowing me to live the way that I wanted to. So I had to change the station. So I really did. And it started in my early 30s. I'm over 40 now. But I know, right? To 40-year-olds. But I had to take that time, in my early 30s, to really look in my inner mirror, and look at how I was showing up, and how I was doing a disservice by not taking care of myself. And it wasn't overnight. It took me years, to really do this. But I got to a place where, and I think really having children helped me tremendously, because although you want to, give your all, take care of your kids, do everything for them, in order for me to do that, I had to take care of myself. Like I had to model for them. I had to, because they're up close and personal. They see it every single day. So
Yeah.
I wanted to be able to model for them, and do it from the most authentic place. And so if I'm not feeling, well, or having time where I have to just carve out time for myself, I tell my kids, I want them to know, because I want them to know that it's okay for them too. And
Yeah.
so if they're having a moment, or they're having, a bad day, I want to hear about it, and then let's, work on that. And so it's been
So much
a
better for
good,
our children. They can,
it
I
is,
always say animals and children can feel energy because
they
they
sure
don't have the
can.
same, they're not developmentally, they're not where adults are, but they have that ability to feel energy. And if we
Absolutely.
can take care of ourselves, I like to give myself timeouts rather than my child
Mhm.
timeouts, just so that I can take a break, get centered, and come back and do it better. I don't always get it right. I'm a work in progress, but
Work in progress. We all are, Allie.
the best gifts I give myself.
I love
And
it.
I wanted to talk a little more about the Sunday aspect of like why we chose Soul Sunday, because I totally agree with you. I'm exactly with you on the idea of for me as a child, teen, and young adult, I would have the Sunday blues, right? In anticipation for Monday, or what you said, the manic Mondays.
Yeah.
And instead of enjoying Sunday, I was worried. I was so worried about the week ahead and all the things that had to get done. And I recognized I wasn't trusting myself. And one of the things I like to say today is I can handle it, whatever it is.
Hmm.
And that right there reminds me, I can trust myself. My anxiety was coming up with all the different scenarios of how the week was going to go. And like I mentioned, the inner critic tells you all the things that are going to go wrong. And now if I do get into the future, I like to equally give myself all the options of what could go right.
Yes. Yes.
And but just also telling myself, I've got this. I dip into the future, and then I can bring myself right back into the present and enjoy and make my weekend longer. Because before, my weekend was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning, and then I was already in Monday.
Yeah.
And yeah, and now I'm just trying to take my life a day at a time, if I, to the best I can.
Yeah. No, you really nailed it, because I spent over a decade working in tech, and I would see it on Monday, like in the faces of the employees on calls. It really took people like 24, sometimes 48 hours to just be present at work and to release the anxiety, like and I would see it, in our meetings and in our one-on-ones and talking, and I think it's very evident and apparent when people are not taking the time to fuel themselves up, and they're just kind of running, on that lower battery. And so I'm just thrilled to kind of start this and welcome our guest on. We have a lot of just amazing people lined up that I can't wait to talk to and learn what they're doing. You never know, like Ali and I might start traveling, and we might pop up in cities and talk to people, but we have a lot of really fun ideas for this show and would love to hear from you as well. So please leave us a comment on ways that you kind of fuel your soul. But one of the things that I wanted to also mention is someone asked us, I know a friend asked you and someone asked me about why didn't you say, call it mind, body, and spirit as opposed to mind, body, and soul. And it's really simple for me. And Ali, please jump in here. But your soul speaks to your inner life in relationship to your own experiences, your mind, your heart, your will, your imagination. It also includes your thoughts, your desires, your passion, your dreams. But the spirit speaks to the same inner life, but it's in relation to God or your faith or your higher power, or some people like to call it source or the universe. But
Your source of love and
yeah,
creativity. Yeah.
exactly. And so for me, like, I believe that we have control over our souls, and we can either fill it up with good things or we can fill it up with not so good things. And so,
Gratifications.
yeah, no, absolutely. And so that's a large reason why I chose, and Ali chose to use the word soul over spirit. But Ali, please add more.
No, you said it perfectly.
No, thank you.
Yeah, what I was told in kind of a spiritual group was we all have a God-sized hole inside of us,
Mhm.
or a space that needs to be filled with uh you know love,
Mhm.
creativity, positive energy. And we tend to, when we're not careful, all of us, instant gratifications, right? Scrolling, eating snack foods, binging on trash TV, which
TV.
in that game,
No, I
Vanderpump
don't even watch TV. So my kids laugh at me because we have a TV in our home, but we never
yeah.
turn it on.
And those things, yeah, those instant gratifications are okay in moderation.
Yes,
And
of course.
but they give us a quick high, often followed by a low low. And so more of the delayed gratification. So things that might not feel good right away that give us a longer lasting high or balanced energy, like exercise, eating well, getting rest, meditating, journaling.
Yeah.
All of those things in the moment might feel like, I don't really want to do this, but we do them and they give us more sustainable energy.
Yeah. And it's really those small things over time that add up to bigger things later. And I say in anything that you practice, it's like if you want to lose weight, like you're not going to lose it overnight, but if you stay consistent, it's the same thing with these things. Like if you stay consistent with fueling your soul and finding what works for you, like this is the best thing is the creativity of it all. You get to try a bunch of different things to see what works for you. It's a large part of why I like to try different things on Sunday. That's kind of my window to, explore a new place or go out to eat with my family or, try a new hiking trail. But I like to do different journal prompts even on Sunday. So it's really an opportunity to get creative.
One of the things you mentioned, and I tell to my clients, is the idea of 1% change. Our system needs to maintain homeostasis. That's why things like New Year's resolutions don't often work, right? They work for a little while. I always tell people, if you want to join the gym, join it in March, because people will, all the New Year's resolution people will have joined, and then it fades, right? And the 1% change, our system doesn't get irritated or want to go back. So doing it a little bit at a time.
Yeah. And what Ali's referring to is I was telling her one of my goals is to get 1% better every day. Whatever that is, like whether it's through reading, all of the practices that we just shared. I'm constantly learning. I'm a life learner. That will probably never change because I have this insane curiosity and I tend to go down these rabbit holes and want to learn as much as I can. But it's really about being 1% better. And if you set that goal, it's something that you will consistently show up every day just to get 1% better. So,
and with that idea of 1%, I like to do also what I call the adding method instead of the taking away or withholding. So
tell me about that.
So with eating, for example, instead of restricting, if I eat something, I eat kind of what I want. And then I notice, okay, it's something not so healthy. I'm going to go grab a handful of carrots. I'm going to go add, or I'm going to go add a glass of water. I'm going to go add a vitamin.
I love that.
And so when I'm adding,
take note. That's good. I love that.
When I'm adding, I'm naturally taking away, but that inner kind of teenager or toddler inside of me, and I'll get into this in another visit, just wants to rebel. And so that taking away and restricting makes something inside of me want to just not listen. And so the adding method, it's sort of more in that positive direction. And I'm making that 1% shift without it feeling too hard or painful.
I love it. Well, this has been so amazing. As always, I feel like I learned something new from you. Really appreciate you just sharing and hope you guys enjoyed this as well. We will have our first guest on next week. So really excited about that. But if you're interested in being a guest, please, you can reach us on social media. I'm at Damesha Craig on all of the social platforms. And I'm spend a lot of time on social media. So feel free to reach me there, or you can reach Ali as well. Ali, do you want to share your social?
I think it's Ali Wigton. Which is my married name. Yeah. And we have our Soul Sunday or Sunday. Oh my goodness.
That's okay. Sunday SoulDay
podcast Instagram account. So please follow us on there and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And then can I give a little takeaway homework?
Sure.
Yeah. So just like Damesha said, putting in the comments what you do to fuel your soul, what you do on Sundays to take care of yourself, to set an intention for the week, or what you do as part of your daily routine. And the little piece of homework I would like to give is pick a day and observe yourself and see what's working for you and what's not. See what you might need to add a little bit of and what you may need to kind of reduce or eliminate, or as I had said, add more of, and it might naturally reduce. But I think just that awareness, observing yourself, being present, you'll kind of see some of those subconscious patterns and what's working and what's not working. And I think that
awesome.
yeah, that's it.
This is wonderful. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and please join us again next week. We'll be on here. Have a great day, everyone.
Hey, take
and
care.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day and happy Juneteenth tomorrow.
I know. I love it. So many celebrations. All right.
All right. Take